Hi everyone, today I'm going to go through a few effective pelvic floor exercises for you. Now, your pelvic floor obviously changed a lot after having a baby, so this is a huge thing that you will need to work on as soon as the doctor gives you the okay after you've given birth, approximately that 6 to 8 weeks after or thereabouts. Okay, so there's a few exercises I'm going to select for you, a couple of them using the fitball and then a couple without the fitball, all right? I'll tell you now, Lincoln, my little one, is 20 months old at this point. It's taken me until now to over a year and a half, and this was doing fitness and Pilates before for many, many years, to get to this point where I feel confident to maybe do a brisk walk. I still wouldn't run at this point with pelvic floor. Now, I do the exercises, I have a prolapse, all right? So I need to investigate that further with a pelvic floor specialist. So I urge you to do the same. If you are in a position where you have a prolapse or anything beyond normality going on after giving birth, you do need to get that looked at by a professional. They will give you exercises and also the right path that you need to follow in order to fix all of it and heal your body. But it does take time regardless. Now, the very first thing is being able to connect with your pelvic floor muscles and being able to have that sensation that they are lifting upwards, so to speak. So we want to be, so if you can, grab a fitball or sit down on a comfortable chair and move forward on it so you're not completely slumped back into it, okay? So moving forward onto the chair or the fitball, feet hip distance apart. So we want to roll our shoulders down and back, and first thing is just moving your hips. So we're going to tilt forward and back here. So that is, just go side on for you. This is a tilt forward and then back. So you're basically moving the tailbone forward and in the direction going backwards here. Now, as you move forward, I want you to bring that awareness to contract or squeeze your lower tummy muscles, okay? So just a few more of these to warm up that area. Good. Okay, then what we want to do is have the sensation that you are holding your wee. Okay, so let's say you're going to do a wee and then you stop halfway mid-flow. What you want to do at that point is trigger the pelvic floor, having the sensation that the pelvic floor is basically going straight underneath your abdominals like this, carrying them basically, okay? So we want to have that sensation that they are lifting up, okay? So on the exhale, let's lift our pelvic floor up. At the same time, draw our belly button in, holding for 5 seconds. Ready? Lifting up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let it release. Now, when we release the pelvic floor, I don't necessarily want you to release your tummy muscles and let everything go. We want to have that gentle activation in our core, so to speak, the whole time, all right? So keep that for me if you can. And look, it is tricky to differentiate between the two. Okay, if you're not used to all these, the terminology and the core muscles and so forth, just think about belly button to spine and pelvic floor lifting, all right? So the pelvic floor is the bottom part, the core is above there, all right? So next exhale, let's hold again 5 seconds. Lift and hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. Now the next thing we're going to bring into it is our glutes, so your butt muscles. What I want you to do on the next exhale is squeeze your butt muscles, lift your pelvic floor and draw your belly button in. Let's hold for 8 seconds this time. Ready? 8, 7, squeeze the bottom, 6, 5, 4, pelvic floor up, 3, 2, 1, and let it go. Good. Let's try that again. Inhale, prep. Exhale, tighten the glutes, push your inner thighs together, lift your pelvic floor, and draw your belly in, sitting tall. 8, 7, 6, keep squeezing and lifting. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. So even those gentle holds, you can do this a few times a day. That will really help and get you mindful of connecting to those muscles. That's the first thing. Sitting, I find, is really effective, especially on a ball, just because you are forced to use muscles to stabilize you, obviously because it's a round fitball. But by all means, you can sit on the floor or on a chair, or even do these laying down. Okay, so that's that one. The next one we're going to do, I'll just put this to the side for a sec, is on the ground, doing that small tilt that we did with the fitball. Okay, so it's a little tilt up and release. Now when we're doing this, as I said at the start, you're contracting and squeezing the lower abdominals here. At this point, we are not squeezing our glutes. I want you to isolate your lower tummy only, okay? Squeeze and release. Squeeze, release. Now, if you have had muscle or abdominal separation, you must speak to your doctor first and get specific exercises for that. I do have some exercises for that on my YouTube channel, Vanessa B Health TV. In the pre and postnatal section, there are some specific ones for muscle abdominal separation, but this is purely for pelvic floor, okay? All right, now let's extend that into a bridge. So as we come further up here, you do start to clench your bottom. And as we said before, on the fitball, feel like the inner thighs are pressing together. So there's always this awareness of the lower tummy, pelvic floor, and inner thighs as well play a role in supporting our pelvic floor. Hold there for a few more seconds, grounding down through your heels and toes, tightening your glutes and lengthening the tailbone forward. Now as you come down, keep the tension in your butt muscles, in your glutes, glide down slowly, and then release it out where your lower back is arched a little. Inhale at that point, exhale, tilt, contract in your lower tummy, lift, good, squeeze up, tighten your bottom, press the tailbone through the knees, hold, squeezing the bottom and the back of the thighs, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good, and slowly come down, keep the tension in those muscles. Inhale, exhale, belly in, lift through the pelvic floor, squeeze the glutes and lift, hold, 5, keep breathing, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. From here, we're going to bring our knees and feet together, hands across the hip bones, elbows and shoulders relaxed open, and we're going to open the knees. So opening the right knee, it kind of falls to the side. As you pick the knee back up, I want you to pay attention that you are contracting up through your pelvic floor muscles. Okay, so like we did on the fitball, inhaling and then exhaling, lift pelvic floor, belly button in, and gently bring that knee to the center. Let's do 5 on the right before we change sides. Inhale, keep this other knee completely steady. If you find that your hip bones are moving, you've gone too far, or the deeper core, pelvic floor are not doing what they need to, so just go a short distance open with your knee if those things are happening. It's all about stability here. Inhale, exhale, squeeze up. Really feel those deeper tummy, pelvic area, doing the work to pick your leg up. Okay, a lot of this is a mental connection with the muscles as well, which requires concentration. So keep practicing. Inhale and exhale up. Let's do the other side now. Inhale, that knee falls open. Exhale, contract pelvic floor, glutes a little bit, and tummy as you bring the knee back up, okay? Inhale, exhale up. Inhale, exhale up. Even if you're quite strong or you do other forms of exercise, or even if you don't, this is one muscle area that everyone needs to work at some point and really learn to isolate and just pay a bit of attention to. What can happen here if you are super strong is you might just use your legs to move the knees, in which case you're not really using pelvic floor and core. So be mindful of that too. Good. Okay, so we're back here again. Just simply laying here. Let everything go for a sec. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, squeeze the inner thighs towards each other, but don't move them together. Lift your pelvic floor up as if you're holding your wee mid-flow, and draw your belly button in. Hold this for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, release. You can breathe, by the way, for that 10 seconds. It's just I want you to hold the muscles. Let's try that again. Inhale, prep. Exhale. Now squeeze the inner thighs together, but don't actually let them touch. And gently squeeze your butt muscles. Draw the belly in. Hold, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I also want you to feel the sides of the waist pulling in towards the middle. 2, 1, and relax. So we're starting to bring your whole core area into it. Let's do one more together. Inhale, exhale, squeeze inner thighs, gently glutes, but don't let the inner thighs touch. The sides of the waist pulling in. Hold everything strong. These deeper muscles, if you can visualize that, pulling in and lifting. Good, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now this is a little more advanced as an option for you if you want to keep working on the area we've just worked here. Now the thing is, I'm not going to give you crunches and things. It's not effective for the pelvic floor. And the thing is, if you go into those too much, or if you're too strong in your top abs, it can actually push the pelvic floor down, right? So we want to think of lifting here, which is why I'm not giving you all that stuff. So let's bring our knees in. If you've got the fitball here, tuck it right in, feet on the top, arms supporting you on the ground. So we're going to push the ball away a little bit to about 90 degrees at the knee, and then come up and balance here. Now this is a little more advanced. It's also going to trigger the back of your thighs. And now hold and squeeze your pelvic floor. At the same time, you're getting a nice leg workout. Keep squeezing your bottom and bring it back down slowly. Now the trick is, if you're going off balance a little, take your feet slightly apart, okay? Let's come up again, just to the level that you are comfortable with. Push your heels into the ball, tighten your butt, press your inner thighs together, but don't touch the knees. Tummy in and pelvic floor, working, lifting up. Hold 5, 4, good, 3, 2, 1, and down. Take a breath. And we'll do that one more time. It's a really good glute activation too. And here we go, 10, 9, squeeze in, lift pelvic floor, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You might feel at the back of your thighs more than anything if you're not used to it. 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Okay, that's great. Now we're going to stretch the legs out for just a moment. All right, next thing we're going to do is lift the legs to tabletop. So bringing your hands across your tummy here, making sure you're in neutral spine, which means there's a little space under your lower back. Fingertips or thereabouts could fit underneath there. And we're going to lift one knee up 90 degrees. Hold it there. Now when you lift this second leg up, you want to make sure the tummy doesn't bulge out, okay? So let's lift it up and hold. Good. Now in this position, if you feel any strain in your back, pull your knees in a little bit. All right, but this is a great basic core exercise. Again, it looks easy, but it's not if you're doing it correctly. The legs should be relaxed, although you will feel your hips and thighs trigger if you're not used to it. It's all about how you come up and how you move down. So if you just move up really quickly and don't think about it and kind of swing your body, push down to the floor, use your back as the anchor, it's not as effective, right? So if we bring pelvic floor awareness into it, shoulders open, inhale, prep, exhale, and lift that pelvic floor, belly button. Keep the strength and the energy in your core. Make sure you're in that perfect neutral spine, wherever that is for you. And now lift that second leg without popping your belly and hold. Hold. Now at this position, squeeze your knees and inner thighs together this time. Push the pelvic floor up, ribs down, and ribs to the mat. Belly button to the spine. And you'll feel just that deeper core triggering, but we've got the pelvic floor matching it as well. Okay, a lot of the time we just focus on ribs and upper abdominals with this tabletop hold, but you can bring pelvic floor into it. Okay, so same with a toe tap. So really slowly bring your foot to the floor, tap and come up, squeeze pelvic floor, inner thighs. It changes a little bit when your legs are now working one by one, okay? But on the way up, you can still press your inner thighs towards each other, keep the hips steady, push the ribs to the mat, and scoop in your belly and lift your pelvic floor as we have been doing. Squeeze up. So it's all about understanding and being able to feel each muscle as you're doing this, as I'm just describing it to you, all right? Practice this video. Practice all these exercises with the technique I'm explaining, and you will get a little bit of a change. Look, it takes time and effort to work your core, work your pelvic floor, and bring it down. If you've been doing that correctly, even a few of those, you should be quite fatigued, all right? So let's just relax the legs for a sec. Okay. Now bring it up to a sitting position. And let's try it now with our legs crossed, which changes the positioning of the legs and the hips a little bit, right? So our knees are relaxed, shoulders down, of course. Let everything go for a sec. Now let's reset. Take a breath in, exhale. In this seated position, bring the inner thighs towards each other. Tighten your butt muscles as if you're trying to elevate up off the floor. Draw your belly button in. And hold that wee mid-flow. Imagine. Hold for 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a breath. Let's do this twice more. Inhale. Exhale. Ribs in. Waistline pulling in. Belly in from the front. Okay. Lift pelvic floor. Bring inner thighs and glutes towards each other. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. And we'll try that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze the inner thighs and glutes without moving them. Lift up. So imagine, so that bottom layer of pelvic floor we explained at the start, that's lifting and it's connecting to your entire core all the way up through the abdominals, the spine, up through the top of the head, lifting and squeezing. Hold. I often close my eyes during these pelvic floor and the core exercises. It helps me kind of visualize what I'm doing a bit better. All right. Next thing, so if you've mastered these and you're feeling a little more confident with your ability to not feel like you're going to wee yourself during exercise, then you can start to bring a bit of movement into it. Now, what you would do, use the fitball. It's a great way to practice. A chair is all right too, but it doesn't have that movement feedback. So we bounce a little bit on the ball. Now, as we're bouncing, you want to try and, again, squeeze in the thighs and glutes towards each other. Right? Now, as you're doing this, the tummy is in. Good. Keep breathing, breathing. Squeeze your glutes, inner thighs, and then just pop up and down a little bit. So if you're kind of coming up and down, it's like you're leaning forward on a slight angle, right? So up and forward. Hold the ball with your hands if you need to. This is actually a really good workout for your legs and your butt. But this will be the next stage to bring a little bit of movement into it so that you can start to fire up your muscles in a different way, get them a bit stronger again. Okay. Good. And 3 more. And 2. And 1. Good. Now, I hope you have found some benefit from these exercises. Again, it is a huge topic and everyone is in a different situation with pelvic floor. Now, guys as well, you do need to do exercises for your pelvic floor. We all have these muscles. So obviously do the video according to where you're at. Always get your doctor's okay and follow a really good plan of action for your own personal needs with this. Any comments or questions, please post below and I'll get back to you on the answers for that. And check out the other videos on the channel and I hope to hear from you soon.